Okay, hello everybody. Today is a Q&A session for a group of advanced algorithms that are graduating. And I want to congratulate, well, everybody's welcome. So not everybody's graduating, but I'm very happy with the group that we had, and I invited Anna. Thank you, Anna, for joining.
My pleasure.
So I'm gonna say a little bit about this year. We started in January. There was a course in basic user course, and then we started in February, and then March we started with the advanced algorithms, and there was a group of people who were doing it together and were very supportive to each other. And there were some people coming in and out, but mostly the group stayed. Then they took Tatiana's course about soul awakening. They are now taking the your
subscription.
Yes, the supervision class, and they also joined the membership program. So they're huge supporters of us. And Carla was like the hero. She has the most transformations. I think so. Everybody had a lot of transformations, but Carla was just night and day. And you can share later, Carla, to tell Anna what happened. And then Kate, and so we were all cheering for Carla. Carla was our
Yay!
trophy, yes. And then Kate, also significant transformations, and always like pushing and going forward and not stopping. The whole group was about going forward, and even though they had a lot of resistance sometimes, but they still keep on going. Were going forward, and that's what helped them, the group dynamic, that they were able to support each other, and we were able to go through the algorithms. And then Wendy did some of the algorithms, but she's very strong, and she was helping with a lot of writing the descriptions, and everybody was participating. So Wendy also went through a lot of transformations and found some where to go forward with the path that she's taking. And Melba is also one of the leading participants, and she's also had a lot of transformation through this year, and found the path for her future. I just want to mention also Monique, who is not gonna be joining us, but she was also one of them, main one, Jody, and then Audrey. They were strong up until the summer. Somewhere in June, things started rolling, snowballing for them, but they're still finishing, they're still drawing, and hopefully they will, sooner or later, they will finish. And there were others. Cindy came and back, and then Linda. Okay, I was hoping Linda can make it, because Linda is she has so much information in her head, and songs, and Buddhism, religion, or different cultures. So whenever she writes a description, it's like reading a book of I don't know what. It's always so. I was crying so much when I was reading her description, because I was touched, not because they were sad, but I was so touched. And so And this is Anna Melba. You have seen her, you know her.
If you don't know me yet.
Yes. Okay. I'm not gonna point fingers, but girls,
Sorry.
yes, so the microphone is yours. If you want to tell Anna, how was it for you? She did the classes, but she was not able to follow your progress through the algorithms. And if you have, of course, any questions for Anna, we have about an hour, and after that the Zoom call will shut down. So if you want, if you have, otherwise we can just go and drink tea.
Oh, well.
Maybe Carla should take the floor and tell us about your transformation.
Oh, God. I don't even know where to begin. I just happenstance upon your video of the basic algorithm that was online. It just popped up, and when I see something just pop up, I usually go, must have a message for me. So I went on there and I drew my first one, and I was like, it's kind of fun. So I just thought, okay, well, maybe I can be an artist somewhere down the line, was my thought about the whole thing. And wow, was I blown away when I took the basic course. I had stuff pop up that I thought I dealt with many years ago. I have been through intense therapy where I was at 3 times a week. I was on medication for chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. With Nat helping me through some areas where I got really stuck or I was really fighting the process, I was able to start moving. And then things started popping up where I went, where in the heck did that come from? I realized I had this little, I call it my little file cabinet in my head, where I must have stuck some, not some nice things from my past back in this little file cabinet. And with every class, I don't think I've done probably at least a couple thousand catharsis as I've gone along. I mean, I've got a big stack of catharsis.
Yes.
And every time I go to Nat, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. You know, this is upsetting me. Nat's go to catharsis. So I wound up doing a lot of catharsis. And as I progressed, things got better and better. And then I think I took Marina's trauma class, and a major trauma showed up, which I wasn't expecting at all. And I finally got through that and worked through that. And then the rest just kind of came naturally after that. And I have been able to get off my asthma medication. I don't take asthma medication anymore. And I'm also off of one of my psych meds, which has thrilled me to no end. So if anyone ever tells you Neurographica doesn't work, it does work. And it
We'll
changes
send them
the
to
world.
you.
Yeah.
I don't suggest people just go off medication. I would never, ever suggest that, because it could be very harmful for someone to just go off medication that's prescribed to them. I am doing that with doctor's permission, and the other two I'm going to be staying on because I still need those. And I'm hoping that by opening my pineal gland, that eventually might help me get off of the other two medications. And that would be really fantastic for me. But I couldn't have done it without all of these women supporting me and giving me sometimes a little push that maybe I really didn't want, but I listened and I took advice and I tried. And that's where it led me. And now I'm taking your supervision class and I'm going back and re-looking at all those pictures and going, wow, was I really there? Let's try to re-look at this. And so the supervision class now is helping me to go back and re-look at some of the topics that
And appreciate it.
Yes, yes. And how much work that I really actually did. But I can revamp some of my pictures now and it becomes like a different story in a way. It doesn't hurt as much. The hurt is no longer there. So I can revamp it and look at it from a totally different perspective. And my eyes look at it totally differently now. So I thank all of you for helping me through the process. I know I had to do all the work and it was well worth my time. It was well worth my energy. And please keep putting out classes, Anna, because I love them. I love them a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you, Carmen.
I just want to take 1 minute to make sure, and for Melba and Nat and Kate and me who've been with Carla from the beginning. Carla, I don't know how you would describe the person you were before these classes started. But I will risk offending you by telling you my perception was an angry, sad person who wasn't real excited about being around humans, who didn't like herself, and who spoke up only in a defensive way as a protection of herself. And that person is gone.
Yay.
Thank you, Wendy. And you were
You're
spot on. You're spot on. Not offended at all.
Okay.
She knows
I
how to
did tear,
catharsis.
I
That's
tore
good.
myself away from people. I went into fostering kittens. When you're around fostering kittens, you don't have to deal with people. So you're right.
Yeah.
You were right on that.
But I have to say that it's not just the courage of the person that takes healing. It's a community that is supporting this process. And possibility, such a rare possibility in this time to be vulnerable around people. And don't be offended and don't be use this vulnerability against you. So this is a really celebration for the whole group and Nat as a guider, first of all. So this is a big deal. So I'm very happy for all of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So anyone else wants to share? Or any questions to me, like I will be happy to to answer.
What's next?
What's next?
For
Let
you
me
and for
finish.
us.
So the next will be the subscription, the membership, and I have already at least several classes ahead that I want to teach you and how they can be developing. And right now, this course of supervision is taking advantage of me. I expected to squeeze everything in 8 hours, and it's already it's already
12.
12. So, and probably
Growing.
something close to another 12 will be done. So, but I'm just surrendering. So, okay, this is what needs to be done, because there is so much material to share, and it could be valuable for people understand and celebrate the process itself. And what will be next? I don't know yet. I'm the person who is falling asleep and wake up with a new idea. So I don't know what will be the new idea tomorrow.
Thanks,
I
Rich.
will be open to share with you as always. This is
I don't know if you'd consider it going forward or not, but the supervision class is so rich that I could see it as essentially being a master's course after going through the 9 algorithms with you. Because it pulls everything together and puts
Yes.
it in a package. It like supercharges a really rich experience that we already had. Had no idea how deep this went, and I know it takes a lot. And if you do it again, you'll know it'll be closer to 12 hours or 15 or 16 hours, and market it as a postgraduate program.
a very
That's
great idea, Kate. Thank you.
Good idea, Kate, because as Anna was saying, she was trying to squeeze it in to 8 hours, and I'm thinking we're trying to squeeze it all out of her. That's why it's
Well, what I was envisioning, I was thinking about it this morning and thinking, I don't think the class description works because I don't think it is a class about supervision, or not exclusively. And so I could see what you're saying, Kate, as being maybe 3 classes. One is about what you read into the drawings, Anna, which is fascinating, right? And another is kind of looking back at your own drawings. And we haven't even gotten into the whole really intense part that, of course, is missing from the instructor's course about how do you, now you have the information, how do you help somebody with that information? You don't want to beat them over the head with it. How do
No,
you coach them forward with that information? And that's what I see is, that's what I'm trying to pull out of you as we're going forward
So
through this.
would you want to have like a class that will teach you how to coach people with Neurographica? Or
100%. 100%.
This would be a good addition to this specialist level as well. But again, the specialist level is just like 8 hours course. It's not enough to coach people. I just follow the Neuro line and see where it takes me. So I cannot entrust it. Like it will take me wherever I need and wherever my help is needed right now. So I cannot promise anything, but I know that there will be something exciting, beautiful, and hopefully natural to me and to people who are coming. But you are great supporters. Like I see your names and your faces everywhere I go. So you will know for sure.
We're watching you.
Those people deserve like the medals, trusted followers of Neurographic Academy, Anna. They help so much with Tatiana's class for me to describe it and to advertise it, and to we had so many people join Tatiana's Soul Awakening just because of those people here, and Julia also helped, and those are really trusted people.
And I'm glad to hear it, because like we were Nat and we were in your place just a few years ago, and we're learning it from the scratch. We've been angry, we've been sad, we've been lonely, and this is what we've done. I'm personally done maybe more than a couple thousands of catharsis. Like I learned this about Neurographica, and I told it in some of the classes that a friend of mine just showed me on a napkin how to draw neural lines and do the catharsis. And that's it. Like she was not certified instructor. She said like, I know it's working. I don't know how. You just do this stuff. That's it. Very simplified without any explanation meaning. And this is what I was doing for 2 or 3 years. different scale, from teeny tiny drawings on a sticky note to the like full size body drawings. So I just did catharsis, and I believe that the whole Neurographic is about catharsis because it's effective, it's working. And it was enough for me to peel off the onion, and like the traumatized experiences from early childhood showed up, and like I worked and I worked and I worked, and like, why is it here there? But it's not just like it's not helping. The other therapy is not helping. Like sometimes you just need to go on a different level and look at the same traumatized experience from a different point. And instead of trying to heal it, finally connect to it, finally own it, and use it as a source of power and source of energy for you. So I'm glad that we have such progress and courageous people to follow this path, because healing is challenging. It's much easier to blame others than take your own steps to do stuff. Accept
Easier to pack it in a suitcase and throw it under the bed.
yeah, until it will be haunting you.
And then you, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Quite.
I had a lot of suitcases under my bed. I'm still unpacking, you know, and I just appreciate this core group so much. I've appreciated it's like when you it's easy to say, oh, I'm going to watch this video, you know, and when you watch the video and you do the drawing and then you have some sort of a transformation along with that, but you did on your live meetings, we brought a fruit and we kind of unpacked the fruit and ate it eventually, you know, Anna, but we looked at its beginning as a seed and how it became a small plant and a tree, and all the people all along the way who took care of it and watered it and everything else. And when we get into these videos, there are times when I think about this whole trail that's been created to bring you to the point where you deliver or channel, or however it is for you, your information to us, but in a format that is so easily absorbable. And it's so transitionary. It is so fast in comparison to so many other modalities that we've all been through and tried. And there's a whole package around you. Natalie is like the support that keeps the shaman balanced in all of this aspect and brings all the coordination and everything, you know, to the table, and that makes it possible for you to deliver. And then the whole concept, the way it comes together and is presented is just a very easy flow. I have been unpacking those suitcases, and I have been coaching and working with other people for years as a reverend. And when I came across Neurographica myself, you know, I'm like, oh, wow, this is awesome. This is like, I thought that was done. There's another suitcase inside that suitcase. Oh my God. You know? And so there's just these layers after layers that we go through. But being able to take all of that experience and all of those layers and look at the transition that happened for me. And I had to say, I can't just sit on this and not share it with anyone else. And I know that this whole group has that same consensus. We can't know all this information and not somehow share it with other people, you know. And so we have the option of, you know, recommending memberships, and we have the option of bringing our friends in and introducing them to the basic course. You know, we have can talk it up in our communities. There are a lot of things that we can do to bring attention to Neurographica, but it takes a really strong core and a really strong team working together to keep it together and make it all happen for everyone. And there's just great, deep appreciation for that here. And I just want to say that I also so much appreciate the live meetings on Fridays. You know, I'm not always able to meet them, but I'm always able to go back and catch them on video. I much rather prefer to be in the image that they're created in, but second best is going back and working through that. So I appreciate all the recordings and all of the videos that you have and that the Academy has from school and from all the lessons and all the special events and everything that we can go back through and rehash again. And I would have to say that the supervision course for me is like having the cake, getting to eat the cake. I look at it sometimes as that there's all this stuff in my kitchen cabinets behind hidden doors, you know, and I want something and I don't have it, but I know if I open the doors and I go in there and I scramble through stuff, I'm going to come up with some ingredients that I can make something out of. And so my Neurographica path has been pretty much finding the ingredients, and here's a few that work well together, and here's a few more that work well together. But I felt like in some ways my ingredients were still spread out on the countertop, you know, and they really hadn't all made it into the bowl yet, you know. And I think so for me, it's like that scenario of now all the ingredients are in the bowl and they're getting all mixed up and it's turning into something different. It's not just the knowledge of Neurographica or the knowledge of the process or all of the emotions and responses that we've had, but it's the compilation of all of that that's coming together for me in the supervision course. And I, like Carla, and I'm probably sure Wendy and Kate too, have been going through our old drawings and going, look at the girl who did that. You know, I've been drawing for supervision class and I'm going back now after specialist course. And so, and I'm looking at the drawings that I have ready for specialist course going, oh, look at that, just because of supervision. I'm already transforming the drawings that I'm doing right now. And the class that you led for us, the falling leaves, that class, I dumped a bucket. I just dumped a huge packet through that class. A few weeks ago in our Friday meeting, you led us on a meditation and we flew away. And I landed in this place with the little groundhog from the dream and the snake and the, you know, all these little pieces that came together. And that for me, the nugget that I got out of it was surrender resistance. And I thought, I'm not resistant. When we surrender resistance. So I thought, okay, catharsis. I'll do what my sister does. And so I've been 21 days and I just finished day 21 yesterday. But in the middle of that, I did the falling leaves and it was just like, boom, you know, there went resentment and there went resistance and rebellion and frustration, just all in one big lump. And they just kind of went out the door. And I made a distinguishing connection that there's some resistance I want to hold on to. I want to continue to resist, but surrender and resist, I can surrender in ways and I don't have to be rebellious and resentment. And it's just gone. So you were saying as you were drawing, I'm not really thinking about divorce. I don't know why I'm talking about divorce. And I didn't know why you were talking about divorce. But when I started drawing, that's what came up for me. And that's where a huge package of resentment and rebellion and all of these emotions were. And so even just the transformation that I've had in the last 3 weeks and the last month since the supervision classes started has been huge for me. I just had this morning and I'll make it short. I just had my first video session with my vet who's on the East Coast, and he just coaching him through. And so we did discovery of intention, and then we did true. And he is just like, wow, wow, wow. And this guy was looking at his emotions and he was bringing up memories and he was talking about what's his running nose and all of these body responses that he was having. And because of that being so clear, just in these supervision classes, how you've taken all those little ingredients that were all over the cabinet, somehow they've all been covered and pulled onto the surface. And I saw it happening right in front of my eyes. It was a wow for him, but it was a big wow for me. You know, so yes, this stuff works, Carla. Yes, it works, guys. We all know it does, but it's just so awesome to be able to share that and see that working immediately in someone else's life. And the guy gets the picture. He goes, now I can be an artist. I can do my own drawings for my wall. It's Picasso stuff, it's.
You can suggest him, like, as a children always do something first time, they give it as a present to their parents.
Yes.
I drew this crazy stuff. This is for you.
Yeah, but I just am so appreciative of all the effort that you're putting into the supervision course. And I must say, I mean, it's magnified on the group of girls that are here with you right now. Everything that you're doing is being magnified in our life, and we love you for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Okay, Queen of Resistance here.
Broke down the barrier.
Okay.
Kate, are you resisting speaking up?
Yes, believe it or not. My mind is my greatest joy and my worst enemy. And I don't care what you brought up. I was ready to argue with you right in the first 5 minutes. I don't do this shit. And but trust. Come on, Kate. It's like, because when I looked, I don't even remember how I first I know I ran into Neurographica because somebody was doing neurographic art but didn't understand it. And I understood there was more to it. I'm thinking, honey, you haven't even touched the beginning of it. And I got the essence of the neural connections. I'm a follower of Dr. Joe Dispenza, so I really got that. And I says, no, I need to dig in deeper. So that mind that I love said, check this out. And I thought, no, I don't want to watch a couple YouTube videos. I want to dive deep. So I do the basic. And then I'm asking Nat when you guys had a sale. Oh, cool. So I could like get all the algorithms for half off. No, Kate, doesn't quite work like that. So I'm trying to figure out, because nowhere in my budget did I have that kind of money planned for personal support and those kinds of neat things. And I probably should be able to write it off my taxes. But anyway, I just knew there was a lot there. And I knew I had to sink in and trust. So there's this in my mind, because I'm there because I trust that this is meaty and it's going to give me help that I may benefit from, but that I resist. And every time something else came up, I says, you got to be kidding me. Right. I'm paying for this. Oh, right. And it's like, wow, wow, wow. And then I go downstairs and my husband would look at me 2 hours later, and I'm like, dun, 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 dun. See, I've done the celebration thing. That's another big thing. And he couldn't believe that I sit still for 2 hours for a class at a time, because I'm always up and down and I don't focus. I mean, I do focus. I just focus on everything at once. And so, yeah, growing a lot of vulnerability is coming up. Also trust in that I can continue to learn, because my first blush was, let's get comfortable with this and how it works. In the meantime, 2x4, 2x4, grow, grow, grow. It's hard to say how rich it is. How much, as everyone has already said, we appreciate the heart and soul that you bring to Neurographica. You know, Pavel's right. You know, this is how neurology works, and this is how art works. And he put it together, and he's got a patent on it. But synergy comes with the heart, and that's what brings it to life, and that's what you brought to us. And that's what made it possible to get over each and every resistance along the way, and feeling comfortable being honest about it in the write-ups, and just laughing at myself when I'm doing it, because I felt safe to do that. It's like I'm trying to do it right, and then I'm laughing at myself because you can't do it wrong. And there's this continual debate and going back and forth. But as it came along, I grew healthier. When I run into people I haven't seen in a while, it's not just, oh, you're looking well. I literally got comments like, jaw-dropping, you look healthy. And my husband's retired, and the person who took over his role at the company said that. And you know, he's known me since before my heart surgery, so he's seen a lot in the last, I don't know, whatever years. And he went back to the office, and my daughter works for the same company, and my daughter reports back to me, hey, Tony stopped me and told me how healthy you look. Well, in the beginning, I couldn't come up with a topic. So I said, well, I really want my nails to grow.
Me too.
And, yeah. And I really want to like lose these last 10 pounds. And I sure wouldn't mind getting into the vanity range, but I want it to be easy. And that's all happened along the way. And it's like, well, you know, when you get rid of the stuff that you're holding, you can get rid of everything else too. So do good habits developing, everything feeds onto each other. So it's more like the alternate universe version of The Death of a Thousand Cuts, only this is like 1,000 kisses or something. I don't know, 1,000 rounded corners.
Smiley faces.
1,000 things getting better, 1% transforms a life. And I'm grateful. And I like the idea that your next step is, let's see what comes up in the morning, because that will be organic. I think that's part of what we appreciate too. We're all trying to be exploring, okay, where do we want to go with next on this? All I know is I'll keep drawing. I walk by, like you see, my studio is a mess. It's okay, that's how I work. But I have this blank piece of paper and a marker on it, and I walk by the table, and many artists kind of cry when they see that because they don't know what they're going to do with it. And I look at it, it's like, oh, there's more possibilities there. You're going to sit down and draw now. And I know that I'm the creator, and I know that I'm creating good stuff within myself. That helps me be a better person. That helps me make my goal of 10,000 random acts of kindness. And hopefully those will continue to spin off. Some of those will be neurographical, some of those will not, but everything will benefit everybody. And so I can talk a lot and not say a whole lot, but I think the most precious thing is not only thank you, but thank you. I mean, I even resisted celebration. What the hell? You're telling me I'm supposed to celebrate? I hate fireworks. I hide with fireworks unless there's classical music in the background. But okay, Kate, trust. I mean, there's a reason for this. So I'm doing these exercises, you know, and it's like, oh, yeah. And I mean, and even in spite of all this, that diagram you showed us last night with the woman with the black circle, man, I wanted to marry her. It's like, I so get this. Then I thought, well, you know, I'm still resisting color. Part of my evolution is I'm going back to my metal colors. But I thought, well, what if I was that and I put the colors and I connect the neural lines? So I'm getting real excited. And then before I leave you, there's miracles in every day of our lives, just a matter of noticing. And I cherish our time together. And I do keep my phone here because I overlap. And sometimes, like we say, oh my gosh, I can't find it. Try to tap back or whatever. Last night we had a miracle during supervision. And we've lost some people in our lives last week. And my mom and I are pretty estranged, primarily for health reasons as well as family dynamics. And I looked down, it was my mom calling. And I send presents, I send cards, I make cards, I keep her in my prayers, but it's not mutual. And it's just, we don't have to go into all the dynamics, but there was her call. And I mean, I so treasure our time together. I said, no, do not pass go, do not collect $200. So I took the phone call and I went to the other room, and I only came back for the next 5 minutes. I know I can finish listening to the last hour on our own. But I have to think that part of that is all the openings and all the connections and NeuroConnect. Oh my gosh, that was painful. That we've done pulling it all together, and to get that blessing and that sincere connection was priceless. Thank you very much.
Amen.
So
Thank you. The biggest resource we have is ability to feel.
I'm working on it, you know.
And it's challenging. It's definitely challenging, but it's something that will help us to move forward.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I'm actually,
understanding, feeling.
I'm getting tears more. And
Good.
Kate
That's
is
a good
giving
thing.
colors in her drawings. Before
Yeah,
I
yeah.
touched it.
Well, there, yeah. And when my cousin called and told me that her husband of 65 years had just passed, I didn't say the right thing. I was out with the mower. I saw it was my cousin. I picked it up. Hi, Dolores. I said, I was mowing, but I can talk to you. And I hear the voice. And they said, I heard someone in the background saying, that doesn't sound like her. And I had a cold. And she said, Kathy, I lost Conrad last night. And it's like, I didn't use the F word, so that was really good. But I said, like, I practically shout, oh my God. And I'm here with you. And it was just a thoroughly emotional reaction of presence. And we acknowledged that we couldn't talk. And we acknowledged that she said, but I had to call you. And she's the person who's very close to my mom. And I wrote my mom a card to explain the situation. And then she called, and hopefully they're going to talk to each other. But afterwards, I'm kind of like, oh, you didn't handle that right. And I said, no, but you handled it authentically. And you were there. And then I wrote the card, and then I followed up with phone calls. So for me to not say all the right words is really cool
Mhm.
and unrestraining.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, who knows? Maybe next year I'll go to a protest. I avoid those. Too many people, too much emotion, and things can get out of control. But it's like, these things are really silly. I need to maybe speak up more. But
You just need to inspire the protest. As
Well,
you
that's my
inspired
job.
us for the class, like the ripples on the water is your inspiration. It's really
I've always been
up your mind.
I've always been a muse, and when people would get to the next steps, the relationships would fizzle. But I got to peace with that, and then other things would happen. With my husband, I guess he needed more musing, so we've been together for 30 years. But I would really like to hear more from Wendy too.
Kate, before Wendy, thank you, Kate, for just staying with this. And I know it was hard for you. I remember how you were doing copies of your drawings and doing one variation then of your catharsis and this variation and that variation, and just trying to make it. And you did make it, and it was a wonderful journey for you. And I really like how colorful your drawings, some of your drawings are.
Well, I know, but I keep putting colors down for you and for the group. And I know that you like the greens or you like the purples. And then this past week with my gratitude drawings, I allowed myself to put more of my metal in because that's authentically me. And I need to, how can I put it? Not put down the colors because I know that they're supposed to be healing, but crack through the metal and let it integrate more. Yes, Melba?
It was a comment that was made by one of the students in the Falling Leaves who said, it was the Halloween costume, excuse me, the Halloween costume. And she said, we're being allowed to be what we don't expect ourselves to be. These are the things that we don't expect of ourselves, and we're allowing ourselves to be them. And I just want to thank Natalie because she's been here all along the road and she knows us all better than we know ourselves, and she's here with us.
Yeah, she's holding the space for sure.
Thank you, Melba.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the Q&As, I started before the rest of the group and was ready to take the advanced algorithms right away. You probably don't remember this, Anna, but I took the basic from you live. And then you and Nat said the next available class was neurotiming. And you guys said, you'll do fine. Go ahead.
Long time ago. It was a year ago.
Yeah. And you said, you'll do fine. You'll get it. It won't be a problem, which was a stretch to say the least. Yeah, I kept asking questions and you would say, it's okay, you'll learn that later. You'll learn that, these guys have already done that. I kept saying, why aren't your lines touching? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? But so then when I started the second algorithm, that's when I started with the recordings. And then eventually veered off that because I started the instructor course in, was it March or May? I can't even remember anymore. And of course told Nat that didn't matter. I was just going to keep up with both the instructor course and your courses, and it wouldn't be a problem. I could manage all of it. And she laughed at me and She was right. It was too much. But yeah, it's just been, I mean, it's transformative, and I don't even have words. I mean, basic was the biggest for me. I mean, that was the one where I just walked around and showed everybody I knew, sit down with me for a minute. I just want to show you something. I can change your life. Hold on. I had my granddaughter drawing in high school. I just had everybody I could get to draw. And then the next most transformative thing for me was that in the instructor's course, we did, of course, the
Neurosketching.
the coaching class. Oh no, I'm not even going to talk about neurosketching that. But the supervision, whatever that thing's called.
Especially.
Thank you.
Specialist
And
level.
specialist, thank you. Yes. And so I did my warm and cold clients, what Melba's starting with now. That was transformative for me because I mean, watching the people change was fun and amazing, but listening to people talk and having yourself reflected back and going, I mean, I made so much growth just in hearing one person say, you know, well, I hate my mother because blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh crap, that is what I do. Okay, I'm not gonna do that anymore. And just, I mean, it was like these intense therapy sessions for them, they thought, but for me, it was crazy. So I'm just loving all of it. And well, you know, I've been in the background and your cheerleader and trying to do anything I can to help you guys have a sustainable business, because I think what you're doing is amazing, just incredible. But the Q&As, I just want to definitely say the Q&As made a big difference. That's why I brought all that up. The Q&As make it possible to watch a recorded class and still feel like you're in a class versus I happen to be purchased this and I'm doing it all by myself. So I really found that to be valuable. And of course, that's how I met you guys.
By the way, I was blown away when I saw you in neurotyping, and it was pretty clear that it was the beginning of your journey. I thought you were a superstar before, but how are you doing this? It's like, wow.
Well, I'm sure you heard some of my dumb questions, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
But you know, but still the perspective, and you were brave enough to do it, and everything, you know, of course, comes together. I mean, it's neurotyping, so everything works, right? But it's like, it was really cool. I was like, oh wow, she's a superstar. Like in the beginning, I was trying to figure out which of these 9 algorithms I needed. Now imagine the arrogance in that one. And you know, I'll take this one, or I'll take that one. And it's like, no, you're gonna do them all, and you're gonna do them in order. But I don't have to. I can do it, Kate.
The one question, one thing I remember from neurotiming, because I haven't rewatched it, but what I remember from it was when Anna was drawing some timeline of something, and I think you were working toward a class you were going to, or something like that, where you were planning it out and what you wanted to get out of it, and you know, taking care of this part of your life and that part of your life. And I remember at some point just raising my hand and saying, your life is much fuller than mine. I don't know how to draw like that because there aren't that many things going on in my life. I need this kind of management. And I don't think your life has changed much, but mine has a lot. So.
I think we literally all look healthier. I'm just looking at us, you know, and
you look more alive. That's what it is. You have like sparkles in your eyes and smiles and a liveliness animated to be able, and you're able to live fully. You love the life that you have now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we have the resources.
We have the resources to love the life now.
Yeah. And know when it's not lovable. Yeah. And when it's not lovable, we know we can draw more resources.
Yeah.
I mean,
everything is subject to change.
Yeah. What's the movie? Push. I think the movie is Push. And Dakota Fanning is like a 16-year-old, and she has a talent and she can tell the future, and she goes and she's always drawing. And she can tell the future. And I smile because I'm thinking, I can create the future. And I believe that to be true. And I've got all these understandings. But to sit there and do it for 2 or 4 or 6 hours, I'm actually focusing on it. And I think that's part of the power of Neurographica, is that, yes, I've done 4-hour meditations with the pineal gland. But with Neurographica, whether it's a short time or a long time, it's like all of my senses are focused and my brain is seeing that. And sometimes I'll even use the smelly markers, and it's like it takes it all to a different level. It integrates it all and wraps it up, makes explosions. So you guys know the secret code. Anybody else, that's crazy. For me, it's like, whoa, that's big growth.
But everyone has its own journey. So everyone has different anchors and different excitement about the drawing. So when people ask, like, could you just in 2 words describe the method? I was like, I don't know. Like, I know for sure I cannot describe it in 2 words. That's why I'm always wordy. But,
Your unconditional love has come through with every session. Every time we meet, you say something to help at least me feel particularly safe, and safety is a huge issue for me. And I mean, even during the supervisions, after all this journey, I still can't get enough of it when you just pause. And that's where you did one of those things where I just felt super safe last night. That's why I put, I love you, Anna. I noticed you didn't read that one to the group. But it was like, this perfect exhale of unconditional love. And I don't have words for that. Thank you.
Yeah, there's an awesome respect for the uniqueness of every individual that comes across. It's a sincere respect of our unique individuality.
Yes, having you describe the drawings in front of us, for me, has been transformative as well. Just taking some random drawing and just being able to see the beauty in it. Which takes a lot of practice. And
you just start seeing, not just see the beauty of the drawing, you see the beauty of a human being behind it. And this is what, and this is not what people teaching in instructor course, like Ned, we went there, like you see it and you analyze. For me, the heart opening and like blew my mind when I went to this correction center for children. And because they're so intense, the energy, like they cannot hide their emotions and feelings. And I had a chance to work with boys and girls and see the story. When you see in the drawing the sexual harassment, or you see the anger, or you see the fragmentation of the personality, you cannot unsee it. And it's something that is really struck me, that how clearly you can see people through the drawing. And when I was talking to children, the administrator who organized these meetings with children, she was scared. And they really like shut down. Like they say they pretended it's never happened, because I start talking to people, children, about stuff that nobody seen before. Like they never understood, and children were trying to hide it. And like when I came to the child and said, like, you do the spiritual journey, you are psychic, you feel and see stuff that others don't see. And she's like, how do you know it? Like, because I see it in your drawing. And it's not like I was learning it, it just somehow it came to me. But now I know where to look to see it, how you can recognize it, even if you don't have this knowing feel. Or you can see the pain in the drawing. And it's very important because you still feel connections to people without words. And this is what really the art is uniting us. It doesn't matter which culture you belong to, which gender you belong to. Show me the drawing. I can relate to it. Like I can be connected to it. And this is what I wanted to share in the supervision course. And one morning I just woke up in August and I turned on the shower, and the whole course just like came to me, like, this is what I need to do. Like, and needs to be in October. So I have 1 month to prepare. And I see I just messaged Nat, like, okay, in October we start the course, like, spread the gift of supervisions. And she's as always like, okay, what it will be about. So I sit and just spend several hours to describe and on my paper, it just looked like 4 pages of description what the course will be about. And I'm like, okay, 4 pages, 8 hours will be enough. And when I had the chance to sit and start doing combine the presentation, I was blue. My mind was like really overwhelmed because like I had argument about each drawing. It's like, Anna, it's already 100 slides. It cannot be more. Like you have to sacrifice something. And I just could not. I was like, okay, whatever. We are going to do it forever until I deliver the message. And this is what matters. And I'm glad how the group is participate in it, how we really have a chance to recognize what I see in the drawing and what you see in the drawing, and that everyone is right, because we look at the same drawing from different angles, from different perception, from different experiences. And this is what matters the most, to accept the fact that I can see differently in the drawing. And it will be not good or bad, it will be just different. And this is matters. Wendy, about the fact that like we lied to you that it will be okay. One of the reasons why we've done it, because we knew for sure that this will be the last live session. And with recordings, it's precious, like because the knowledge is there, but the live sessions are different. And
Yes.
sometimes people just need to dive in and learn how to swim in the middle of the ocean. So this is the reason why we really convinced you. Like,
Oh, and I don't think it was a mistake. I just think it would be a different experience now, which is fine. I think every class has been like that, where they're just eye-opening. I mean, well, anyway, what I want to make sure and say before the time is up is what I think is important about the supervisions class, and what I feel like you're kind of at least in part being called to do, is this humanizing of the instructor's course. The instructor's course, and that these guys have all heard me complain about it, but it's very procedural and rote. This is what you do. This is the name of the thing. This is how you do it. Thank you. Move on. A supervision, you look at it, you find some mistakes, you point them out to people, you tell them the drawing's beautiful, you move on. There's no connection. There's no humanity in it. And that is what you're giving us by looking at each picture and valuing the person behind the drawing. We're not looking at it as art. I mean, all of us, you can see the group react when you put up something that's truly beautiful, where we all kind of like, oh, I wish I could do shading like that. Oh, that's beautiful. And once you put up that are garish, right, where we're just kind of like, ugh. But you're right there, standing there solid and saying, this is another person. What do we see about this person? And that's the for me, that is a tremendous value, particularly right this minute when I'm in the middle of this very, very perfunctory instructor's course. So.
Thank you. The instructor course is about tools. I
Yes.
give you as many tools as possible so you can cook and adapt it to the next level. Yeah, but the supervision course is different. And that's why it's my course, not the institute ones.
Mhm.
So this is different approach to it. Before we finish, I want to say one more thing. Like tomorrow is Nat's birthday, and I believe she is born already in Bulgaria. So if we can sing a happy birthday song to her a little bit advance, I wish we can do it. Yeah, like do the firework. So are we ready to sing?
Yes.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Natalie. Happy birthday to you.
and many
And
more.
many more.
Thank you.
It will be messy, but it's okay. It's from different corners of the United States.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, everybody. It was very, very needed for me to have you. I wanted to create a support group and to have a sharing circle, and you came along. So I'm very grateful. Thank you. Thank you for.
Thank you for all that you do for us, Natalie. You keep it together. You definitely are the glue in the fact.
Oh, you are just wonderful.
Celebrating us.
Yes.
The group hug. Maybe one day we will have an opportunity to draw together on a bigger piece of paper. Like this is another thing that we're really missing, is this opportunity to create a big piece of art together. And this is a different level of connection, different level of understanding talents of each other. So maybe
Keep that in heart.
one day.
We look forward to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Somewhere in Hawaii.
I knew that was going to come.
Okay, Melba, you're next. You find the place.
Very generous of you to offer Melba's home for hosting.
He has a boat. We can do it on a boat. It's the lines are gonna be more unpredictable on a boat.
I promise. I draw there. It'll be truly neurographic without much effort.
So we have a time frame of 2 years, right, before you retire the boat?
He's going to give up his captain's license. The boat will still be in his possession, but somebody else is working it. We'll
Okay.
just playing on it then instead of working.
Oh, gee. Rough life.
Looking forward.
Always.
Get it together soon.
Okay. Maybe
Which
soon.
island? Which island is it, Melba?
Island, the one that's named Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
the one is like big like Texas.
Good. It's good.
Big enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Have a
Any other questions, girls? If not, most of you I'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we will have live meetings, and we will have a class on November 5th about like third eye. Somehow Nat heard like the sacral will be, no, not the sacral, the crown will be the third eye. So we will draw third eye on next.
It's gonna be
Next
beautiful
week.
anyway.
Yes.
Okay, in Wednesday for the supervision course. also. Okay. Thank you.
Many opportunities to see you again and
Yeah.
hear you again. So thank you very much, girls. And it was my pleasure
Thank you,
to
Anna.
be part.
Thank you.
Natalie.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.